The 26 days we've had to predict and anticipate what results we may see, it's finally time. The second-ranked Wolverines of Michigan come in having won the Big Ten championship, playing great defense and putting up a lot of points along the way. The third-ranked Bulldogs of Georgia come in after a heartbreaking loss to a team that has had its number for years. Georgia comes in having had the best defense in the game, arguably, and putting up a staggering 39.4 points per game. With the winner having a chance for the ultimate prize in the sport, this is the biggest game of these athletes' careers to this point. With one team already in Indy, who will join them? This is the College Football Playoff on Safer Broadcast Network. Now to Cooper Naylor with the call. The 26.
With that, thank you for tuning in to the 2021 College Football Playoff Semifinals. Alabama already in Indianapolis, and they are getting you to Indianapolis right. And of course, tonight's game is sponsored by PC and More Gifts. They make great stuff, and I'll tell you this, you will like it. So, if you need anything for gifts, for anything at all, go to PC and More Gifts. As you can hear, now here comes in the crowd noise that I am importing. Of course, I'm ready for a good game. How about you? Well, I already know. And so, let's dive into this because, I mean, you think about Michigan. They have, right on their defense, the best player on their team is number 97, their defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson, a senior who was a Heisman finalist. He was incredible this season for the Wolverines of Michigan. Now, here is the thing. Can Aiden Hutchinson get to Stetson Bennett like Will Anderson did in the SEC championship game against Alabama? Which Georgia, you saw, their one game that they lost was to an Alabama team who, what we saw just now, destroyed a Cincinnati team who was undefeated at the time. A score of 27-6. So, with all of that being said, we are ready for another playoff game. And this one could be an historic game like what Georgia's last time being in the college football playoff was like. I mean, if you think about the last semifinal game that they played an Oklahoma team who was favored in the Rose Bowl. And of course, they were playing the great quarterback Baker Mayfield, and, well, Georgia comes out with the win, 54-48. So, Georgia, of course, has been in the playoff only one time before. Whereas this is Michigan's first chance to be in the situation like this, being in the college football playoff. So, here is the big question, and that is, which team and which quarterback will make more plays through the air? That's where I think we're going to have to see the biggest impact is coming from that quarterback position. If the quarterback position is not really looking good for either team, I think it's going to come down to, can Stetson Bennett or Cade McNamara make enough plays through the air? And which one of those quarterbacks are not going to be phased by the defenses? Because you look at these defenses, these are some great defenses. Like I already mentioned from Michigan, you have Aiden Hutchinson. But don't forget about the edge rusher, number 55, David Ojabo. He is an incredible edge rusher for this Michigan squad. And then if you look at the defense for the Georgia Bulldogs, it all starts with their nose tackle, number 99, the senior Jordan Davis. He is the rock of that defense. Of course, another guy is going to be the MAC linebacker, Nakobe Dean. He is going to be in a great game tonight. Also, the money linebacker, Quay Walker. He is another one of these stud players for the Georgia defense. This Georgia defense, we thought going into the SEC title game, was the best defense we've seen in college football. Well, can Georgia prove us that they are one of the best defenses coming up tonight in this game. We are under 30 seconds till kickoff, folks. And if you want to look at some of these stats, and if you want to look at these defenses, Georgia only giving up 9.5 points per game. Of course, it was, I believe it was 6.9 going into the Alabama SEC Championship game, where they allowed 41. Well, it bumps it up to 9.5. Michigan, on the other hand, great defense, only allowing 16.1 points per game. So, and the one difference coming from these two teams, Michigan, a Big Ten champion, Georgia lost the SEC title game, and of course, here we are in Miami, Florida for the Capital One Orange Bowl. It's going to be great, folks. Buckle up. Here we go. It's time for kickoff. Kicking it off today will be Jake Moody. And that is up in the air. And returning it for the Dogs is, I believe, I'm trying to get the number right now, is, I believe that's number 6. And number 6 would be Kenny McIntosh, the junior running back. And here we go with the Georgia offense facing off against that Michigan defense. We got us a game, folks. Here we go. As Georgia will run out there, of course, right now, the starting running back tonight is Zamir White, right there to the right of quarterback Stetson Bennett. Also out there is Adonai Mitchell, Jermaine Burton, and Ladd McConkey. That's the 3 receivers right there. And it's a handoff to Zamir White, who breaks up the seam, and he gets about 9 yards. He was close to a first down. It is 2nd and 1 for the Dogs early in this game. And of course, some players to watch out for. James Cook, the running back at Georgia. The tight end, Brock Bowers. Of course, Aiden Hutchinson and linebacker Josh Ross for Michigan are going to be guys to watch out for in tonight's game. Those are some impact players. Of course, here is Stetson Bennett again. He takes a snap, looking to the left. He's got Adonai Mitchell right there for the first down. And Georgia is moving the ball pretty well so far. On the second play, up to the 45-yard line of Georgia. Great play there by Adonai Mitchell, and a great pass by Stetson Bennett. George Pickens coming into the football game now, I believe for Adonai Mitchell. Also out there is Brock Bowers, Jeremy Sawyer, Justin Schaefer. Here's Stetson Bennett looking down the field, and he's got his tight end, Brock Bowers. First down, Georgia. On a nice play right there. Of course, getting back to the starters. Brock Bowers is the tight end. Left tackle is Jeremy Sawyer. Left guard, Justin Schaefer. Center, Cedric Van Pran. Right guard, Warren Erickson. And, of course, the right tackle, Warren McClendon. Of course, starting on the defense for the Wolverines, Aiden Hutchinson at defensive end. And we'll get back to it in just a second after this play. Stetson Bennett out to Brock Bowers again. On a nice play, getting it close to a first down. So a lot of passing plays so far, and I believe one run play to this point. Getting back to this defense, at nose tackle Christopher Hinton. At defensive tackle is Mozzie Smith. At edge rusher is David Ojabo. At will linebackers Junior Colson. At Mike linebackers Josh Ross. At cornerback DJ Turner. And we'll get back to the starters in just a moment after this play. Stetson Bennett will run up to his offensive line, giving out communications for what he wants his offense to do. Stetson Bennett now with a 2nd and 3. He's going to hand it off to Zamir White, who is going to be stopped right there at the line of scrimmage. No gain right there. And on the play was number 2 Brad Hawkins, who is a strong safety. I was about to get to it a moment ago. At free safeties, number 19 Rod Moore. At cornerback, number 4 Vincent Gray. And at nose backer, it's number 30 Daxton Hill. That's the Michigan defense tonight here for the Orange Bowl. 3rd and 1 now for the Dogs. Stetson Bennett, of course, looking back to the sideline, trying to get the call in. Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator at Georgia, did a great job. Stetson Bennett now, and there's going to be a flag right there. No, it is a timeout by Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs. With 11:29 in the first quarter, no score. Georgia's driving to the football field. It's going to be the first 3rd down of the game. And so, while we have a little bit of a break, well, let me tell you something. And that is that this drive is going really well for the Georgia Bulldogs. They have equated for about 67 yards down the field. So that is what is going on right now for the Bulldogs. 9 yards on the ground and 58, I believe, through the air to this point in the game. So, of course, that is something to be happy about if you're a Dogs fan. We'll be back in a moment. And welcome back to Miami, Florida. And I do want to correct myself. There's 11 rushing yards for the Bulldogs right now. A total of 69 yards for the Dogs to this point in the game with 11:29 to go in the first quarter. Of course, right now Stetson Bennett is 3 for 3 for 58 yards through the air. So that is something really big. So here we go. Here's Stetson Bennett. He's going to hand it off to Zamir White, and I believe he's got enough for the first down. Yes, he does. 1st and goal. Zamir White picks up the first down on the ground, picking up 2 yards right there, and right now Georgia is moving with ease on the Michigan Wolverines. Maybe a little bit of, maybe some jitters from the Wolverines side. Haven't ever been in this position. Of course, Georgia hasn't really been in this position very much either. So here's a snap. It's a fake. Stetson Bennett's going to throw a touchdown to Brock Bowers. And the Dogs strike first in Miami. A 9-yard touchdown for tight end Brock Bowers, the freshman. And you can chalk that one down on your sheet of paper. That is a 9-yard touchdown reception for a freshman tight end who has been a great addition to the Dogs this season. And Stetson Bennett looked very confident on that drive. Of course, we did not know how he was going to compete after that very tough game against Alabama, as that extra point is good, but it looked very bad right there. But the extra point is still good by Jack Podlesny, the place kicker. And another fact right there, that is the 12th receiving touchdown for the freshman tight end Brock Bowers, most by a freshman tight end in Georgia Bulldogs history. So good job for Brock Bowers tonight getting that accomplishment. And of course, we are live with the Orange Bowl. Of course, as part of the College Football Playoff Semifinals. I'm Cooper Naylor. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have 10:49 left in the first quarter. And man, Georgia just drove down the field. They drove 80 yards on that first drive, and they looked very confident in every play that they had. And let me tell you something. When you feel confident in every play you're going through, well, that is a good sign that you're going to have a lot of success, folks. So, and another fact, that is the second first quarter touchdown allowed this season by the Michigan Wolverines. It's the first since week 1 when Michigan took on Western Michigan, as there's a kickoff by Jake Camarda, and no return from A.J. Henning. As here comes the quarterback of Michigan, the junior Cade McNamara. Of course, Stetson Bennett, he looked good on that first drive, passing the football. And like I said early in the game, which quarterback is going to do more through the air? Well, here we go. Let's see what Cade McNamara can do. He's got Hassan Haskins in the backfield with him. Of course, Cade McNamara, the quarterback. And there's a flag early. And it looks like it's going to be a false start on Michigan. And it looks like it's going to go against Vestardis, the center, Andrew Vestardis, the center. He is the starter. Of course, at wide receiver, you got Roman Wilson, Cornelius Johnson, Mike Stranastill. At tight end, you got Eric All and Luke Schoonmaker. Of course, at the left tackle, you got the senior Ryan Hayes. Here's Cade McNamara back in the gun by himself. Cade McNamara is going to run, and he's going to pick up the first down. What a run there. He needed 15. He got 18. Of course, going through the starters, of course, Trevor Keegan, the left guard, and then, of course, center Andrew Vestardis. At right guard, it's Zach Zinter, and, of course, at right tackle is Andrew Stuber. On the defensive side for Georgia, well, we'll get that way in just a second. After this play, Hassan Haskins and Eric All are in the backfield with Schoonmaker as well. And it's a flea flicker. Cade McNamara is going to give it back to Hassan Haskins, who will stumble there a second, and he still picks up a couple of yards right there for the Wolverines. So on this defense for the Bulldogs, at defensive end, you got Trayvon Walker. At nose tackle, Jordan Davis. At defensive tackle, you got Devontae Wyatt. At Sam linebacker, you got Robert Bill Jr. At the MAC linebacker, you got Nakobe Dean. At money linebacker, you've got Quay Walker. At Jack linebacker, you got Nolan Smith. At the left cornerback, you got Amir Speed. Here's the play, and there's a run coming from Donovan Edwards, and that's a first down for the Wolverines. All right, getting back to the starters. At strong safety, you got Christopher Smith. At free safety, you got Lewis Seen. At right cornerback, you got Darion Kendrick. And at the star linebacker, you got Latavius Brini. Here's a pass to Donovan Edwards from Cade McNamara. And that's going to pick up a couple of yards right there through the air for the Wolverines. Picking up a couple more yards, getting their total of passing yards to 8 right now. 28 rush yards for Michigan and 8 pass yards for Michigan, a total of 36 so far for the Wolverines. They have one penalty for 5 yards. They picked up 2 first downs. Georgia only had 3 in that first drive. And of course, Georgia was 1 for 1 on 3rd downs. McNamara now. He hands it off to Hassan Haskins, who will not get the first down. He picks up a few yards right there. It is going to be 3rd down right now for the Michigan Wolverines. So 3 yards right there for Hassan Haskins. Right now, Kane McNamara in the backfield all alone. He's got 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. McNamara now looks. He's got, oh, and it's dropped. And I believe that was Schoonmaker. Yes, that was Schoonmaker. He had right there wide open, and he dropped the football. That's going to be a 4th and 4. And most likely going to be a punting situation for the Wolverines. And the ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage. And I believe that is, well, I couldn't get a good look at that number right there for you. Of course, we'll get that as soon as we can. But what a good tip right there. The Wolverines are going to go for it. Here we go. McNamara looks and dropped right there. He was looking for Eric All, his tight end. And that is a turnover on downs for Michigan. A questionable call early in this game. I mean, I could understand if you're trying to get an advantage by going for it and trying to pick up the 4 yards, but that was a risky move that did not pay off for the Wolverines. So what you see right there is Michigan turns it over on 4th down after what looked like a promising drive, and they could have just punted the football and lived to die another day. Wow. Well, folks, Georgia's going to get the football back. Stetson Bennett looked great on that first drive, and maybe Michigan is stuttering a little bit with jitters. Well, folks, let me tell you something. Well, Cincinnati, today, they stumbled at the beginning of the game. They didn't look too good. The first drive they had looked really great. But then, the rest of the game, it was a poor played game from the Bearcats. Is Michigan going down the same road? We don't know. Georgia, what you're seeing is a team that has a sense of, we've been here and we've done that. They haven't won the national championship, but they have been to the playoff before. And this is Michigan's first trip. So maybe there are a little bit of jitters coming from Michigan right now as to the game. Of course, folks, we don't want you to go without knowing that January 10th is the College Football Playoff National Championship game, and that the game is going to be great. Alabama's in Indianapolis, and, well, we're having Georgia-Michigan right here to decide who's going to be playing them. And, better yet, get this. You can listen to the game right here. And as you can see, this is a radio broadcast. So what happens with the radio broadcast is, if you want to tune out ESPN or anybody else that's doing a game, well, turn us on. We've got your radio broadcast of the game. And we hope that this is a way for you to enjoy a football game without just having to listen to boring commentary like ESPN is. So, what we're here to do is give you football and more football and nothing less than football. So, that is what we're here for today. And we hope that you're enjoying tonight's game. As we return to the field, of course, Michigan has drove for 39 yards and went for it on 4th down. and missed it. So right now, here is the Dogs. Stetson Bennett back there with James Cook to his left. He'll have his receiver, Ladd McConkey, go in motion, and that's who he's going to go to on this first play, and he's going to step out of bounds before getting the first down right there. A great play call by Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator for the Dogs. And that's going to pick up about 8 more yards. Let me rephrase that. 9 more yards for the Dogs. So you're seeing a trend right here. Michigan is running the ball a lot, whereas Georgia is focusing on passing the football. So that's part of the strategy that is interesting about today's game. Stetson Bennett going to hand it off to James Cook. Cook's got an opening. He has a crease, and he's finally taken down. First down, Georgia, on a 21-yard run right there. And I'm telling you, that defense is not getting to Georgia right now. James Cook, he found an opening, and he just went. What a play. As here they go again, a little up-tempo going. Stetson Bennett looking. He's going to hit James Cook, and James Cook will be short of the first down. But another great play there from the Dogs. And that is going to go for 6 yards right there as Georgia eclipses 100 yards total in this game to this point. Great game plan so far coming from the Dogs. And Michigan is stuttering a little bit. That is for sure. Stetson Bennett to his right, he's got Zamir White, and to his left he's got Kenny McIntosh. He sends McIntosh in motion. Now Bennett out to McIntosh, who is just shy of the first down for the Dogs. 3rd and 1 coming up for Georgia. And I'll tell you something else. A name we haven't called out quite yet is the Heisman finalist, Aiden Hutchinson. That is something we haven't heard yet. And another guy we haven't called out yet, David Ojabo. A little shocking right now that Michigan's defense is stuttering a little bit. Here's Amir White, and that may be good for a first down. Let's wait and see where they're going to... Yes, it is good for a first down as the Dogs are just running all over Michigan right now. Michigan doesn't look like they know what's happening. That's just the plain truth of this game so far. As we are at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. Here's Stetson Bennett. He's got Kenny McIntosh to his left. Bennett calling out signals as we speak. He'll hand it off to Kenny McIntosh. It is a throw from McIntosh to the end zone. Touchdown! Adonai Mitchell and Georgia. The Dogs are up by 2 touchdowns right now. What a play. This looks like it's going to be a run play from Kenny McIntosh. So he gets the handoff. Stetson Bennett hands it off to him, but then he stops and throws it into the end zone for a touchdown to Adonai Mitchell. And that is how the Dogs go up, which is going to be 14-0. Yes, it is 14-0 before 41 to go in the first quarter. The Wolverines of Michigan, are they shocked a little bit by this? I think we're very shocked by this so far. Michigan better do something, that's for sure, because if they don't start playing better, well, I'm telling you what, this is going to be a blowout by Georgia. And this is not looking pretty on Michigan's part. With that, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll come back in a moment to Miami, Florida. So, as we mentioned at the beginning of the game, Michigan is allowing 16.1 points per game this season. They've already allowed 14 to Georgia right now. Georgia's taking a timeout. So, with 4:41 to go in the first quarter, it's 14-0 Georgia. Michigan, they've only had one offensive drive, and they looked bad. And they went for it on fourth down, and it didn't pan out very well. As here is Camarda kicking it off for the Dogs. And another touchback. As here comes the Wolverines. Let's see if their offense can do something. And so far, it really has been who's going to make more plays through the air. Stetson Bennett in Georgia, we know what they're doing right now, and that is they're going to throw the ball. They're trying to get Stetson Bennett to be very confident, and I think they're probably thinking of how much they feel disrespected to this point. So here comes in the backup quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. They do like to use him, and here's a handoff to Hassan Haskins. And that's going to pick up a couple of yards right there for the Wolverines, picking up about 4 right there. Now, J.J. McCarthy is a freshman from Illinois, and Michigan, Cade McNamara is their starter, but J.J. McCarthy will come in at points because they have packages put together for him that they like to run. So, here he is again with Hassan Haskins to the backside of him. He's going to hand it off to Hassan Haskins, and Hassan Haskins is going nowhere. That Georgia front is getting to him. And that right there is Trayvon Walker bringing Hassan Haskins down behind the line of scrimmage. Just another great play by a Georgia defense that we all know is great. And maybe, looking at this game right now, Georgia is sending a message early, and that is, don't disrespect us. Because they feel like the underdog right now. Here's Caden McNamara. He's looking, and he's got his man, and that is out to his receiver number 85, Dalen Baldwin, the transfer, who is a senior that transferred in to Michigan. So, great throw right there too by Cade McNamara with pressure in his face. As Michigan picks up a couple of yards, let's see what they can do. He's got Hassan Haskins and Luke Schoonmaker in the backfield. McNamara looking, and he's going down. It was a combined sack. It was a combined sack coming from Nolan Smith, and that was a great play by the Georgia defense. Three players in on the sack right there. McNamara, he doesn't know what's happening right now in this first quarter. He's got Hassan Haskins to his right. Now he motions him to go to his left. McNamara looking, and that is going to be batted down by Quay Walker. A great play by that Georgia defense. It's 3rd and 16 now for the Wolverines. Goodness, this is going to be a long night if this is the way this game's going to go, folks. And I mean, really, this is going to be a long game. So here we go. 3rd and 16. McNamara by himself in the backfield. He's got the 5 receivers. He's got one going in motion, which he's going to kick it out to Blake Corum, but he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage by Nakobe Dean. That's a loss of 2 yards, and Michigan does not know what is going on right now. and you are seeing two SEC powerhouses in this college football playoff completely overload on these teams. This is a bad start for Michigan in this playoff game. As here comes out the punter, number 91, Brad Robbins, and that's a great punt right there. And it'll be fair caught at about the 24.5-yard line, as the Bulldogs will have it when we return to Saber Broadcast Network's first ever edition of college football on Saber Broadcast Network. Keep it here. Well, welcome back, everybody. Early here in this game, we still have about 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the first quarter in Miami, Florida tonight. Of course, this has been a little shocking right now. Michigan doesn't look like they've come to play. So, in Georgia, they've come to play, that's for sure. Here we go. Stetson Bennett will hand it off to James Cook. And Cook will get a couple yards right there. Be second down. Right there. If you're just tuning in to our broadcast of the college football playoff tonight, thank you for tuning in. Of course, we thank you for watching. Now, something we do want to keep in mind is that at halftime, we have our most famous video will be played at halftime, plus some more stuff to come. But there's a flag on the play right there as Stetson Bennett just throws it away, and it was caught by his receiver Jermaine Burton. But let's wait and see what is called on the field. And it looks like it's going to be offside on Aiden Hutchinson a 5-yard penalty, and that does not help things on Michigan's side. Oh yeah, offside right there. Aiden Hutchinson. The first time we call his name, it's for a penalty. 28 seconds to go in the first quarter. Stetson Bennett in the backfield with Zamir White to his right. Here's a snap. Fakes it to Zamir White, and it's caught by Brock Bowers, but there we go. Aiden Hutchinson with his first tackle of the game. And that may be the last play of the first quarter, if Georgia so chooses to take the rest of this. Yep, that's the last play of the first quarter. With that, it is 14-0 Georgia. We didn't want you to stick around because right now it's a break in between quarters, and that we've got a little question for you. There have been 15 playoff semifinal games. This is the 16th right here. 3 have been decided by less than 10 points. Can you name the 3 that have been close games? If you need that again, there have been, let me rephrase that. This is the 16th playoff semifinal game. There have been 3 that have been decided by less than 10 points. Can you name the 3? And so, we will put your comment live on the screen for you to see. So, there's your question. Again, there have been 16 playoff semifinal games. 3 have been decided by less than 10 points. Can you name the 3? I will be back after about a couple seconds. And welcome back, everybody, to the college football playoff. It is the second quarter of Georgia and Michigan. 14-0 Georgia early. And so, I do want to give it out again because we never got any responses on the question that was asked from me. There have been 16 playoff semifinal games. 3 have been decided by less than 10 points. Could you name them all? We will see about that later. Stetson Bennett right there with the pass, and that is caught by George Pickens to begin the quarter. So Georgia right now has 151 total yards. They have 111 passing yards. As here's another play. Stetson Bennett again through the air. Oh, what a hit right there. That number 2, the defender number 2, Brad Hawkins. Wow. Now, the Bulldogs actually have 110 passing yards. They've got 40 rushing yards. That's 2 less than what Michigan has total to this point in the game. And Georgia has not ran the ball very much during this evening's game. So that is where we are. As Brad Hawkins will be okay. He will run under his own power. Back to the sidelines. And that gives us a chance for us to ask our question one last time. There have been 16 playoff semifinal games. How many, which is 3, but can you name the 3 that were closer than 10 points? And welcome back, everybody. So tonight's question that we placed on you did not get answered, so we are deeply sorry, but we cannot hand out a winner for the question. Of course, we thank you for watching and listening to tonight's game. So of course, here we go. Stetson Bennett has Kenny McIntosh to his left. Stetson Bennett now will get it out real quick, and that is the receiver number 10, Kieris Jackson, the redshirt junior. And that's going to be 3rd down for the Dogs right there. And another nugget for you to enjoy right here. Michigan is seeking its first championship appearance, either BCS or CFP, as there is a run right there by Kenny McIntosh to gain the 1st down right there for the Dogs. 3 yards right there from Kenny McIntosh. But you think about the storied history of the Wolverines of Michigan. They've never played in the national championship game, whether it be BCS or college football playoff. So that is something interesting for you to sit on. So here's Stetson Bennett. Now looking. Has to evade some pressure coming. And man, did he evade it. He is still going, and he will be down. And it looks like about the 26 yard line. A 20-yard run there for Stetson Bennett. This play, he's got Aiden Hutchinson to his back. Then he gets out of that really quick. There's Stetson Bennett out again to Zamir White. And White's going to gain about a yard right there for the Dogs. So Georgia is coming in playing maybe some of the best football of the season. Of course, this is the time you better be playing your best football, because this is the time it's do or die right here. And of course, for that SEC title game, That was not their best football. We all know that. So, they are really looking good against this Michigan Wolverines team. And like I said, who is going to make more plays through the air? And right now, it's Stetson Bennett. About 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go until halftime. Bennett now looking through the air, and he throws that one away. He was looking for, it looked like it, his tight end, John Fitzpatrick. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Dogs. In this play, it looked like maybe just some miscommunication right there between the tight end Fitzpatrick and the quarterback Bennett. Here we go, Stetson Bennett. Take the snap. And oh my goodness, Fitzpatrick again, but this time he had it in his hands and dropped it. And that's going to bring up the kicker, Jack Podlesny, to kick the field goal right here for the Dogs. Jack Podlesny is 18 for 22 on the season, kicking. His longest field goal was 46 yards. So let's see how this one goes. 43-yard attempt for the Dogs. Podlesny is good. How about 17-0? Would you ever had guessed that for today's game? Right now, in the second quarter, and we haven't hardly got through very much of the second quarter. We'll be right back after this commercial break. And with that, we would like to welcome you back to the College Football Playoff Semifinals here on Saber Broadcast Network. With giving you the game right now on the call, I'm Cooper Naylor. Thanks for joining us tonight here on Saber Broadcast Network. Of course, something to look forward to is that the winner of this game goes on to the College Football Playoff National Championship game. They will face Alabama in Indianapolis, Indiana, Monday, January 10th at 7 o'clock Central Time. And the reason why I'm telling you all this is because we will have the game for you. Myself and Rusty Casper, as we've got it planned at the moment, will be calling the game for you. So, if you want a good time and a great broadcast, come on back on January 10th. As there is Jake Camarda to kick it all the way back, and that's going to be a touchback. As here comes a struggling Michigan offense. Of course, it's first win against Ohio State since 2011, their first Big Ten championship since 2004, and their first ever CFP appearance. And well, they have all these accomplishments, but it's not paying off very well for the Wolverines because they are not looking good right now against Georgia at the Orange Bowl. It's McNamara has his receiver go in motion, and there's Blake Corum with the carry. And I'm just telling you, there's Jordan Davis and Trayvon Walker as they will combine on that tackle behind the line of scrimmage on Blake Corum. That is a loss of a yard on Blake Corum's first carry of this game. And I'm telling you, this is not looking good for if you are a Michigan fan. But let me tell you something. If you're a Georgia fan, this is looking really great. Here's Cade McNamara. Now looks, he's going to throw it, and he's got his receiver, and that is number 5, Sranastil, right there with the catch. Sanders right there. 3rd and 1 now after that 10-yard gain for the Wolverines. McNamara, he's going to motion his tight end, Schoonmaker, in motion. He's going to hand it off to Hassan Haskins, who will gain the first down. And maybe now we're getting to see Michigan a little bit more relaxed. Had to settle into this game a little bit. Of course, their defense finally forced a field goal try from Georgia, which is all signs of, hey, we are calming down a little bit. And here comes in number 9, J.J. McCarthy, to play quarterback. Of course, as I said before in the telecast, they have packages for him, and he's going to run the ball. Oh, and he is lucky to maybe have gained a yard right there. He was going nowhere, and he gained maybe a yard right there. I mean, this play, you look at it, he fakes the handoff to Blake Corum, and he looks like he's down and out, but he somehow finds a way to pick up a yard right there. A nice play right there. And here comes McNamara back in the game. He's got Blake Corum to his left. He's the running back. Here we go. McNamara now looking. He's going to take the shot downfield, and it's going to be caught by his receiver, number 14, Roman Wilson. A first down, and maybe a big turning point in this game as he just shoots past the cornerback number 11, Darion Kendrick. And he just, after he got past Kendrick, there was no way he wasn't going to catch that football. And he caught it, and Darion Kendrick will bring him down before he has a chance for a touchdown right there. And here's Cade McNamara. He's got Hassan Haskins to his right. Here we go. McNamara takes the snap. He fakes to 2 different people for the run, and he gets sacked. And that's Nakobe Dean getting that sack right there on Cade McNamara. And as we think Michigan may have a little bit of life, down goes McNamara. In this play, maybe he waited too long to try to get rid of that football. But man, that was not the right play there from a Michigan team who is struggling. A loss of 8 yards right there. Here we go. McNamara looks. He's going to run it now. And oh my goodness, he gets blasted right there, but he still picks up a couple of yards right there. Making this 3rd down a little bit more manageable, but still, this is a really difficult spot to be in. 3rd and 16. And nothing is going right for the Wolverines to this point in the game. We still have 8 minutes till halftime, folks. And of course, as I am building up this halftime because you're not going to want to miss this. It's going to be awesome. Here we go, McNamara in the backfield by himself. He sends Eric All in motion. Eric All and Luke Schoonmaker to his right. Now looks. He's going to look for Eric All, and he's got it. That's not enough for a first down, but this still makes a field goal attempt a little bit more manageable for the Wolverines. And the kicker who will be coming out, it'll be Jake Moody. And holding the football will be punter Brad Robbins. Jake Moody, 22 of 24 on the season. His long is 52. This is a 36-yard field goal. And this is a difficult spot for field goals because he's on the right hash right here. And this is going to be a tight squeeze with a right-footed kicker. It doesn't matter anyway. Michigan finally scores, and they're now down 17-3 with 7:16 to go in the second quarter. With that, we'll be right back to the College Football Playoff Semifinals from the Orange Bowl. And welcome back to Miami, Florida, where the Bulldogs of Georgia have jumped out and maybe have shocked Michigan in ways with how good the Dogs have played to this point. Michigan a moment ago finally getting on the board with a field goal. So it's 17-3 now. Georgia's defense is playing like the defense we saw all season long, except against Alabama. So, here we go. There's a kickoff. That is Jake Moody kicking it off, and of course, Kenny McIntosh will grab it and take a knee in the end zone. So here we go. Of course, right now for the Michigan Wolverines. It is a little struggle right now because Mike McDonald is the defensive coordinator for Michigan, and he's having a little bit of a tough time right now, right, with his defense. And of course, Josh Gaddis on the offensive side for Michigan having some difficulties. Georgia's defensive coordinator Dan Lanning has done a great job in this game so far, as there's Stetson Bennett, and he's going to hit Brock Bowers. Great call there by Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator at Georgia. And, well, what a game. This is, I mean, there's a 6-yard pickup right there. Stetson Bennett, 12 for 15, 108 yards passing, a touchdown, and that's 9 yards averaged. Brock Bowers, he's got 5 targets, 5 receptions, 55 yards, and a touchdown. And then if you want to look at the rushing, James Cook, 2 for 25 yards. Stetson Bennett has 1 for 20 yards. Adonai Mitchell, 2 receptions, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Here's Zamir White, right there. Of course, Kearis Jackson with 1 reception for 9 yards for Georgia. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. 3rd and 3 right there. So this is the largest deficit that Michigan has faced all season long. Can they overcome it? Let's see what will happen. Here's Stetson Bennett in the backfield all by himself. He's got a couple of receivers out there. Bennett now looking. He's going to take a shot. It's James Cook. That football is caught. And he will go down at about the 13-yard line. And taking him down is Junior Colson. And oh my goodness. James Cook. He just got wide open, and Stetson Bennett laid that out there perfectly for James Cook. What a throw. What a route right there by James Cook. And like that, here's Georgia again. End zone, and that'll be incomplete. Jermaine Burton looking to the refs, looking for a holding or a pass interference against Jamon Green, the senior. We've got about 5:22 until halftime, of course. Coming up with the halftime show, we've got Football Skills Challenge number 1, the video. We got that coming up for you at halftime. Then, of course, I'll be back after that video to break down what I saw from this first half. And after that, I'll take a little bit of a break, and I'll come back, and we'll get you back to the game. So here's Stetson Bennett. He's got a player, it's James Cook, with the end around, and he's going to go nowhere. He's going to go behind the line of scrimmage right there for a 3rd and 11 now. Let's see what happens now for Georgia. Nice handoff there, though. James Cook coming from the outside, coming in for the through motion, but still didn't pick up any yards. It actually lost a yard, so here we go. Bennett now in the backfield. He's got Kenny McIntosh to his left. He's got Zamir White to his right. And here we go. Bennett's taking the snap. Looks. He's going to hit his his receiver, Ladd McConkey. But he will be short of the 1st down. And that's probably going to bring out the kicker, Jack Podlesny. And that will for another field goal attempt. All right. So, here we go. Here's Jack Podlesny. And that kick is straight through, and it's 20-3 Georgia now. What a game. As the Bulldogs are handling the Wolverines to this point in the game. And we're not at halftime. It's 20-3. Dogs leading. And with 3:50 left in the second quarter, we return to Miami, where the Dogs are handling business tonight against, the number 2 Michigan Wolverines. It's 20-3 right now. Michigan, what are they going to do to try to get back into this football game? We'll have to see. They got a field goal, so let's see what they can do. They forced 2 straight field goals from Georgia, so here we go. Jake Camarda kicks it off, and that's a touchback. As here comes this Michigan offense. And I'll tell you what, for a Joe Moore Award handed out to this Michigan offensive line, this is really going to be hard for them. This Georgia defense is getting the better of them. So, let's see what Michigan can do. Here we go. Cade McNamara will hand it off to Hassan Haskins. And let's just say there is nowhere to go right there for Hassan Haskins. It's going to be 2nd and 10 after this. Or is it going to be about 2nd and 9? Either way, he went nowhere. It's 2nd and 9. He got nowhere on that play, though. So, here we go. McNamara looking. There's the pass out to his receiver, number 3, A.J. Henning. It's going to be 3rd down now for the Wolverines, 3rd and 8. So let's see what Michigan can do right now. On the 3rd and 8, they've got to pick up 8 yards. And all night long, it seems like they have no way of getting to 8 yards. So here we go. McNamara looks. He's got pressure, and he's going down. He is going down right there by Nolan Smith of the Bulldogs of Georgia. There's nowhere for McNamara to go right there. 4th down, and Michigan cannot get anything going right in their way. That is just what this first half has been. And a timeout called by the Bulldogs of Georgia, as they will get the football back. 4th and 8, 2:22 to go in the second quarter. And this game was anticipated to be a game that could have come down to the last play if it needed to. Right now, if this narrative sticks, then we are on track to it being 40-6 at the end of the game. That's the track we are going at right now in this football game. Georgia is playing a great brand of football. Michigan cannot seem to do anything right at this moment. This is a crazy event going on. As here is Brad Robbins getting ready to punt it all the way back to Kearis Jackson. There's the punt. Oh, it almost got blocked right there. Great special teams right there by Georgia. And that punt, that was a hard punt to get away, and that was almost blocked right there. Oh, wow. And so Georgia's offense will come out with 2:15 to go. And you know what? They have some time. Here we go. Here's Stetson Bennett. He'll pass it out to Kenny McIntosh, who is going to pick up a few yards right there. And they're going to push him for a 1st down. Great play there from from his teammates from the offensive line right there, getting a great push to get McIntosh the first down. And the Bulldogs are just running laps around the Wolverines right now. Here we go. Bennett. He's got McIntosh to his right. Here's a snap. Bennett floats it, and incomplete. He was looking for Adonai Mitchell. And on the defense was number 22, Jamon Green. Well, if you want a stat for this, Georgia is only allowing 9.5 points per game. Well, what you're seeing from this is you're seeing what you expected from Georgia, and that's good defense. But for Michigan, they've already allowed 4 more points than what they average. Or if you want to be more technical, 3.9 more points than what Michigan averages per game. So here's Stetson Bennett. He's going to throw this one deep. He's got his man, Jermaine Burton, touchdown! Bulldogs! Oh my goodness! What a touchdown, 57 yards! And Michigan doesn't know what has hit them early in this game. And Georgia is about to take a 27-3 lead in this football game. Oh my goodness. And on that punt block, trying to get down there was Marcus Rosemead Jack Saint. So that will help you. And there is Jack Podlesny to add to the total. 27-3. Georgia up with a minute 38 before halftime, folks. What a game. And I mean, Stetson Bennett is just trying to get rid of this football. And you know what? There is Jermaine Burton right there for a touchdown. What a great play there. And Stetson Bennett. Everybody was trying to figure out how was he going to play after having a rough game against Alabama. Well, you know what? I think he's fixing to send his team to the national championship. And I know it's just the first half. But let me tell you something, folks. It's going to be hard for a Michigan Wolverines team who the biggest deficit they've been behind is 4 points this season to Michigan State on the road. And they lost that game. It would be so hard to believe that they could pick up 24 plus points and not allow any more points from Georgia to this point. So, what you're seeing here is a Georgia team who felt disrespected, and they are just showing everybody why they are one of the best teams in college football. There's Jake Camarda. And that will be a touchback right there. As Michigan, they got a minute 38 to do something. We either could see a Michigan team who tries to just run the clock out and just try to see what they can salvage at halftime, or they may go down the field and try to score a touchdown and make this lead a little bit easier to manage. Now, I believe Michigan's going to get the football to start. Yes, Michigan will get the football to start the second half. So that will be something if they could get a touchdown here. So here's McNamara with pressure. He just has to get rid of that football, and that's intercepted. That is intercepted, folks. That is intercepted by Darion Kendrick. And just what Michigan did not need, McNamara intercepted by Darion Kendrick with a minute 28 to go in the first half. And I'm telling you, folks, this game could be over. Right here. Right here and right now. Oh, but Jim Harbaugh, I believe that he is mad right now because they are looking at the play, and it looked like, oh, they are going to review this play because they because what we're seeing here is that we think Darion Kendrick stepped out of bounds, which he did. So this may be coming back. And trouble evaded for Michigan, but a bad throw right there for Cade McNamara. And honestly, you could argue you've got two penalties there. One on Darion Kendrick for stepping out of bounds, but two, let's watch this play. Oh, no face mask, but you could have argued in real life, like in real action, that could have been a face mask against Darion Kendrick. But nonetheless, though, what a great play. I mean, a very athletic play right there from the Bulldogs. That's not an easy play right there, that's for sure. So, the referees are reviewing this, and we will be right back when we have an answer to the question, and that is what the review will end up with. So, we'll be back. Alright, so we are back, and the penalty was for targeting, folks. Number 29, Christopher Smith, has been kicked out of the game for targeting. That is a big shift in the game, but Georgia still gets the football, but right there is a penalty against Christopher Smith. He will not play the rest of this football game. So, we will see what kind of impact that has on Georgia. But as we know, Georgia still has a lot of players left that are great players on the defensive side of the football. But right now, Georgia's going back to offense, and with a minute 28, this is enough time for Georgia to score again. And you know what? This has become a very, very one-sided football game in one half. So here we go. Georgia will have the football right here. Right now. So, we're back after that station identification sort of like thing where I was trying to get everything set back up. But either way, Zamir White goes for 7 yards right there. Clock is running. Under a minute now. 2nd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Right now, Stetson Bennett will hand it off to Zamir White, and he'll get a couple more yards as we are going to 45 seconds. Enough time for Georgia to run at least one more play and take this thing to halftime, up 27-3. This is something new. Georgia is the first team to score on first 5 drives in college football playoff game. That means this has been a game where people are being proved wrong right now, and that is Georgia and Alabama are the 2 top teams in college football, and Michigan, a great accomplishment they made this season with how they've played, but we're going to go... Oh, Stetson Bennett's going to try to get at least one more play off. Here we go. Bennett is just going to throw that away. And that's halftime, folks. With the score being 27-3, Georgia leads it right now. And with that, it is time to go to halftime. With that, here is a video called Football Skills Challenge number 1. Hope you enjoy this.
Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Cole Naylor. Cooper will join me in a minute. We're doing a football skills challenge. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, we're getting ready. I'm about to catch first, and I'm just going to tell you what I'm feeling, what's going through my mind. I'm about to catch 5 out of the 8. Okay.
Okay, if you're trying to wonder, it looks like he only got one. Looks like he got one. We'll just rewatch the footage for this, but we'll see. All right, so I gotta catch 2 footballs. I mean, quite honestly, this is gonna be a piece of cake, baby. Let's go. All right, I got 3, baby. 3. He got 1. So I win challenge 1. I get challenge 1. It's off to challenge 2. Let's go.
Okay, so this challenge, this one was a secret, so we said that the second one was going to be a entire challenge, which is coming up. That's grand finale. But right now is a top secret challenge, which you're going to find out now. It's the punt challenge. We're going to punt 8 footballs, and we're going to take 7 out of the 8 away. So the furthest of our punts is the only one that counts. And we're going to keep whoever punts the furthest punt wins. And Cooper's winning 3-1. So he won the first challenge. And it's first to 2 is best out of 3. Okay? So if Cooper wins this challenge, it's over. And if I win this challenge, we go to the title challenge. Let's go.
Alright. Let's see what you got.
2, 1.
Oh! This is awful! I can do so much better than you! It's like you never plotted this thing before! Oh! So folks, that was very interesting right there. Colton, he's not a punter, but he had one that I'm gonna have to, for sure, watch out for, because if I punt it too far, it'll go into the end zone, or if I don't punt it enough, it won't get to where I need it to go. So, alright, let's go see where Colton hit it. Colton, his farthest ball is like at the 1-yard line. So, let's see what I got. So Colton wins round 2, meaning we are going to the tire throwing competition, folks. It should be good. Here we go.
We're at the third challenge. This is the tire challenge. I've already told you about this. We have to stand right there. You see where all the bricks are? That's where we have to stand. And guess where we're throwing? Oh, big boy over here, Mr. Throwy Tire. So we stand right there. We throw. Most throws wins. And this is winner go home for both of us. Let's go.
No, it didn't go in. It spit back out. A little low, but oh.
Okay, I got 2 in a hole. Well, technically 1,
Only one.
but it's controversial. But anyway, it's Cooper's turn, and it's starting.
I gotta
to
get 2, and I win. If I get 2, I win. So let's go, baby!
Let's go.
Hello everybody, as you saw in this video, I take the crown for Football Skills Challenge, so there we go. And so, of course, next time we have our Basketball Skills Challenge, and we got some more challenge videos coming for you. And don't forget, we have some other videos coming out also. So please, like and subscribe to our channel, and hope you have a great day!
Welcome back, everybody. It is the college football playoff semifinals, Georgia and Michigan. And well, this game has been very lopsided at this point. And what it seems like what is happening, Georgia has dominated both sides of the football, whether it be offense or defense, and Michigan just can't get anything to go. Michigan can't do anything. They've only scored 3 points to what Georgia has scored 27. And so what I see from this game right now is what's got to happen is, Michigan, for one, has got to play better defense, and they've got to play better offense. For Georgia, just keep doing what you got to do, because what Georgia's doing right now is going to help them win. So, it's crazy. Michigan is lucky to have 100 yards total in this game, offensively. So, with that being said, for Michigan to be able to come back in this game, they're going to have to really play better football down the stretch of this game. And for Georgia, do what you're doing right now. This has been the halftime report. When we come back, the rest of the game from right here on CFP Broadcast Network. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. and broadcasting live from the Saber Broadcast Network studios in Hartselle, Alabama. I'm Cooper Naylor. Thanks for tuning in to the college football playoff semifinals with us tonight. We all know that Alabama has made its way to the national championship game. Right now, we are waiting to see who will join them. But at the moment, what we've got right here is Georgia is dominating Michigan. So, we have the second half coming up. First half for rush yards for Michigan, 29. The fewest all season long. So here we go. It is time for the second half kick. Michigan gets the football. Let's see if they have. Let's see if they've gotten anywhere as far as are they better equipped. Michigan is to play against Georgia in the second half. So there's a kick from Camarda, and that's going to be a touchback right there. As here we go, Cade McNamara. What can he do? All right. So in the backfield with Cade McNamara is his running back Hassan Haskins. To right behind him. He's going to hand it off to Hassan Haskins. And just like it was in the first half, nowhere to go running the football. And that's Jordan Davis. Their big nose tackle right there. Stopping Hassan Haskins at the line of scrimmage. Here we go. McNamara with Haskins to his left. Now he sends his receiver in motion, and he's going to get it, and McNamara gets it back out to Haskins. It's going to be third down right here for the Wolverines. Here we go. McNamara. He's got Hassan Haskins to his right. McNamara pressured, and he's going to be taken down for a sack. That was actually a first down a minute ago, so this is making it second down. So McNamara, looks like the same thing is happening right now as it was in the first half, and yeah, it's just Michigan's offense can't do anything right now. But this is Georgia's using this as a statement to the college football world, trying to tell everybody that they feel disrespected. And right there, Cade McNamara misses a pass to his running back, Blake Corum. It's now 3rd and 16 for Michigan. What does Josh Gaddis have pulled up in his book of tricks? Here we go. McNamara passes. That's going to be caught by his tight end, Eric All. But there's a flag on the play, so let's wait and see what the flag's about. But the way it looks, it may be going against Georgia. Yes, it's against Georgia. It's an offside. It's first down for Michigan. As now, start the second half, maybe Michigan's got a little bit of life right now. And a good pass. One of the best passes McNamara's had all game long. And here's a run to Hassan Haskins. Haskins looking for a little bit of room. Oh my goodness. If he could have gotten that defender, number 16, Lewisine, off of him, he may have been gone. Nice run right there. He's going to pick up about 19 yards right there on the run. First down, Michigan. McNamara. He's got Haskins to his right. McNamara trying to call out signals to his teammates. Eric All goes in motion. It's a handoff to Hassan Haskins. And he's going to pick up a couple of yards right there. So time of possession, both teams have had the ball about the same amount of time. Georgia out possessing the football by 44 seconds to this point right now. But Georgia is just playing so dominant against this Michigan team. So here we go. McNamara is going to get it out to his receiver. And I believe that we've got a penalty flag or something. Odd play right there. As here comes J.J. McCarthy into the game for Cade McNamara. 3rd and 7 for the Wolverines. J.J. McCarthy in the backfield all by himself. As Michigan is going to have to burn a timeout. The first of the half. As Michigan still... Well, Michigan's moving the football right now. But you can still see that there is a little bit of dysfunction. We'll be right back to the action in Miami. And hello and welcome back, everybody, to tonight's coverage of the Orange Bowl, part of the College Football Playoff Semifinals. I'm Cooper Naylor. Thanks for tuning in with us. A little programming alert coming up. If this game is still a blowout by the end of the third quarter, I've gotten word from my executives that we are going to cut the broadcast short. Here's J.J. McCarthy. Had a pass to Eric All. That's a first down. But we do want to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in tonight, because this was our first attempt at doing a live broadcast here on Saber Broadcast Network, a live sporting event of this caliber. So we want to thank you, and we are coming back for the national championship game on January 10th. So we'll be back. You can't miss us. So, here's Cade McNamara. He's got Hassan Haskins to his left. He's going to hand it to Hassan Haskins. Haskins has a little bit of room, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards right there. As maybe Michigan's getting a little bit of flow right now and feeling a little better about themselves. And I think a lot of what you're seeing from Michigan, they were very jittery to come out of the gates. Never been in a position like this at all. And Georgia just took them to the woodshed in that first half. So, let's see what happens with Michigan right now, as we got about 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Son Haskins and Eric all right there in the backfield, and there's a flag. And this may be going for a loss, and that's going to be on Michigan offensive lineman number 77, Trevor Keegan. Maybe. Who knows? And actually, it's Andrew Stuber. I'm sorry about that. Correct myself. Andrew Stuber with the false start penalty. 2nd and 11 now for the Wolverines. And just as it looked like they may have a little bit of confidence, they have that happen. So McNamara with Corum to his right. Here's the snap. McNamara looking, end zone. Oh my goodness. It's intercepted. Darion Kendrick again. And like I said, right as he's looking like he's getting a little bit of confidence, right there, Georgia says, not today, McNamara. Well, Michigan looks like they don't know what has happened in this game. We'll be back after this commercial break. Well, we are back right now. The game will resume in a moment, but let's recap what we've seen so far in bowl season. In the Peach Bowl last night, we saw a great game between Pitt and Michigan State, but it was more of a defensive game because Heisman finalist quarterback Kenny Pickett he was sitting out of the game because he opted out due to he was going to the NFL draft and didn't want to hurt his draft stock. So that is where he was. But Nick Patty for Pitt got the start, and he got hurt. He broke his collarbone in the first quarter. So what happened was third-string quarterback Davis Bevel came in, and he did the job of what a third-string quarterback is supposed to do. So, I mean, you can't fault him there. And, of course, Michigan State would end up getting the win off of a couple of plays that made it possible for Michigan State to win. Here's James Cook for the Bulldogs. He's going to just get back to the line of scrimmage. But also going back to other games, if you look at other New Year's Six games, you look at Alabama and Cincinnati. That was the previous game we saw. And Alabama played a great football game against Cincinnati. Alabama's defense, of course, just like Georgia, showed up, and just played out of their minds. And Cincinnati couldn't do anything about it. Alabama's offense came and played really good football as well. And Bama would get the win 27-6. As here's James Cook again with the run, and he's going to get about a yard. So, I mean, right now, Alabama and Georgia look like the matchup we're going to see in the national championship game at this moment. Great game, of course. Of course, tomorrow there's some great football games. Start with the Fiesta Bowl between Notre Dame and Oklahoma State. It's at 12 o'clock Central Time. Whereas here, Stetson Bennett looking, having an escape, looking to make a play. Oh my goodness. That was really close to being intercepted. And right there, almost having a chance at an interception, was number 90, Mike Morris. So also other games coming up tomorrow at 4 o'clock Central Time. The Rose Bowl between Ohio State and Utah. And then at 7:45, the Sugar Bowl between, of course, none other than Ole Miss and Baylor. And this is the first punt for Georgia this evening. Jake Camarda will come on the punt. And it's a really good punt. And right there to receive it is Michigan Wolverine A.J. Henning, as he has a great run after catch, and it's going to get to about the 40-41 yard line right there for that. So we'll be right back in a moment to Miami, Florida. with 8:17 to go in the third quarter. We are back to Miami, Florida, between Georgia and Michigan. Georgia is seeking to become the first 3 seed to win the national championship. Now, Michigan is the first ever preseason unranked team to reach the college football playoff. And Ohio State is the only Big Ten team to win the college football playoff. So that's what Michigan has on its line. As there's Cade McNamara missing Blake Corum. Now, earlier we had asked for a little help on this as far as a question, and we never got any answers to this, but there have been 16 playoff semifinal games. 3 have been decided by less than 10 points. And those 3 games would be, well, I'll announce them after this play, but, of course, some pretty good games, though. Here's J.J. McCarthy. He'll take the snap. Now looking. He's got his man. And that's his wide receiver, number 6, Cornelius Johnson. So those 3 games would be the 2014 Alabama and Ohio State Sugar Bowl, 2017 Georgia-Oklahoma Rose Bowl, which went into overtime, and then the 2019 Fiesta Bowl, Clemson and Ohio State. So, Ohio State would win 2014 Sugar Bowl, Georgia would win the 2017 Rose Bowl, Clemson 2019 Fiesta Bowl. J.J. McCarthy hands it off to Blake Corum as he lost the football. And I believe the Georgia Bulldogs may have the football, and they do. The Dogs have the ball. Blake Corum fumbled the football. What a game. And Michigan. Oh, that is a clear fumble right there. And Georgia is going to get the football with another chance to add on to this lead. What a game. Well, folks, we have 7:25. If Georgia scores here, and there's no other score after that, after the third quarter's over, we will cut off the stream for tonight. But we do thank you for tuning in tonight, because this is our first opportunity at this, and it's gone pretty well, I would say. Except for the game. It's kind of lackluster. But either way, we'll be back for the national championship. Here's Stetson Bennett looking deep. And he's got his man. That is caught! Kearis Jackson! He had to really go up there and get that football, but he did. And that's a first down for Georgia. But there's a flag on the play. So let's see what the flag's all about, because this could come back. Here we go. And it's going to be holding against the offense. So they will have to go all the way back to where they just were a second ago. A bad penalty right there. First and 25 now for Georgia. Of course, you can afford penalties right here like this, though, with being up 27-3, because all you're trying to do right now is run the clock out. If you're Georgia, you're trying to just run this clock down with this lead you've got. If you're Michigan, you want to get a 3 and out right here if you want to have a chance at even, trying to do something with this. As here's James Cook. Oh my goodness, he gets a couple of yards after the catch, and they had a hard time trying to get him down. But this is just a screen pass, and it looks like he got tipped at the line. It's going to be 2nd and 11. Yeah, it got tipped by Number 30 on the Michigan defense, Daxton Hill. So here we go. Stetson Bennett takes the snap. And that's tipped again by Daxton Hill, but this time it'll go nowhere, and that will be 4th down for the Bulldogs. So here we go. Or no, that was a 2nd down play. Here is a 3rd down play. And Stetson Bennett, 17 for 25, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns on the night. So a great game for Stetson Bennett. Here we go. There's a pass, and it's to McIntosh. McIntosh will get the 1st down plus more, as Michigan cannot do anything to help themselves at the moment. The Bulldogs are just running all over the Wolverines right now in Miami at the Orange Bowl. But that national championship game between Alabama and Georgia, a rematch of the SEC championship game, it's going to be great. Here's Zamir White. He's probably got another 1st down right there for the Dogs. And he does. But now, the thing that's going to be interesting about this national championship, you're going to have Stetson Bennett, who looked very bad against Alabama. How is he going to play against Bama coming up on January 10th? That's the big question. And like I said to begin this game, whoever made the most plays in the air was going to win the game. Well, it looks like it's going to be that plus Georgia's defense really showed up tonight. And there's Zamir White. Looks like it's going to be about 2nd and about a yard to go for the Dogs. But under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And Georgia is just running all over Michigan right now. Here comes Zamir White. Zamir White will get another 1st down for the Dogs. And there is no way you're going to stop that. What a great game, though, for the Dogs, though. I mean, you look at this game, and there's nowhere you can really say anybody had a bad game. There's no bad penalties either. But 2 costly interceptions from Cade McNamara that could have kept this game somewhat close. And maybe had a chance. As James Cook, he's going to get a 1st down and goal. And a flag on the play. So let's see what this flag's all about. It looks like it's going to be against Georgia right now with 3:58 to go in 3rd quarter. It is against Georgia, and that'll pin them back against Darnell Washington. And what a game from Stetson Bennett. And he really hasn't had to do much offensively. And this is the Georgia we saw all season, where the defense carried them and the offense did just enough to be able to win this game. And there's James Cook again with a run on 1st and 14, and another flag coming in. And let's see where this is coming from. But and looks like a chop block. It'll go, it looks like against Georgia. So at 3:32 to go, Georgia's shooting itself in the foot right now. It's 1st and 29 right at the moment. So 27-3, Georgia with the clock running under 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go, about 3:15 now. 1st and 29, back at the 35-yard line. What is Georgia going to do? Here we go. Stetson Bennett fakes the handoff to Zamir White. Now looks. He escapes the pressure. Now he's looking. He's going to run it. And he's going to pick up a couple yards himself. In what was an awkward slide after the play. And he looks like he could have been shaken up maybe a little bit, but he looks like he's fine though, all together though. So, the Georgia Bulldogs up 27-3 with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 22 in what is going to come out as a Georgia win if Michigan cannot do anything to come back. Stetson Bennett now running for his life. Just going to have to throw that football away into the stands with 2:11 to go, and that's going to be, I believe, 4th down, or looks like maybe 3rd and 22 right here. So let's see what happens. But 3rd and 22 for the Bulldogs. And about 2:11 to go in the quarter. And Michigan is on its last string here. Can they stop Georgia right here? Here we go. Stetson Bennett takes the snap. Running to the right, looking in the air. And he has Lad McConkey, but that is broken up by the Michigan defender. 4th and 22 now, as Georgia could take a long field goal right here, or they may punt it. Let's just see what Kirby wants to do with this. 27-3, no scoring in this quarter so far. But here comes Jack Podlesny for a 46-yard field goal. Here we go. Podlesny, no good. And Michigan will get the football back with 1:59 to go. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. And with a minute 59 to go from Miami, Georgia's up 27-3 over Michigan. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Cooper Naylor. Of course, after this minute 59, if the score holds, we are going to go off the air for tonight. We thank you for tuning in, though. Of course, this has become a blowout, and here's Cade McNamara in Michigan. What can he do? Here we go. McNamara looking, and just gets the pass away, and that is his running back, Edwards. 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 now. So what you can see, though, is Michigan was not ready to have to throw the football in this game, though. That's for sure. And there's another sack. It is a fumble! It is a fumble! And it looks like Michigan gets the football back, but that was a great save there for Cade McNamara. No scoring here in this quarter yet, but that could have ended badly for the Wolverines. Here's J.J. McCarthy in the game now, getting his chance. 55 seconds to go, 3rd and 8. McCarthy looking. Gonna throw it, and he fits it through there to his tight end, Eric All. What a pass. It's a good pass. There's 3 defenders right there, and he fits it right in there. Good pass there by J.J. McCarthy. Here we go. J.J. McCarthy again. Takes a snap, now looking, and way too high for his receiver, Roman Wilson, right there. 2nd and 10 with 23 seconds to go in the quarter. Well, same football field Alabama won the national championship on last year. And Georgia's playing here tonight, and they, or Michigan, if Michigan can come back in this game somehow, will be headed to Indianapolis to face Alabama, trying to go back-to-back champions for the first time since they did it 2011-2012. And J.J. McCarthy gets out to run. He gets blasted right there. That's Quay Walker. And that is probably going to do it for the 3rd quarter. That's it for the 3rd quarter, everybody. And that's where we're going to leave you tonight. It's 27-3, but of course, we will give you updates sooner or later about who. Well, you'll probably see who wins the game. So we'll see you back January 10th. Thanks for watching, and we hope that you have a great night. Good night from Hartsville, Alabama. Thanks for watching. Good night.